Good day. Summary of state updates for retail foods. Modification to 9 Arizona Administrative Code 8 Article 1 Food and Drink Rules. On this outline, we'll be discussing adoption of the new Arizona Article 1 Food and Drink Rules, July 8, 2020, how Arizona Article 1 Food and Drink differs from the 2017 Food Code. ADHS version of the 2017 Food Code Food Establishment Inspection Report and Risk Factor Study Questionnaire. The Arizona Article 1 Food and Drink Rules were operating off the 1999 Food Code. ADHS had an initiative to modify the rules so they reflect the 2017 Food Code, which is the most recent version. Here on this chart, the AZ Article 1 Food and Drink Rules main milestones. As you notice from 2019 of January, all the different steps taken in order to make this new food code and the differences available and ready to be used. Summary of the major changes to 9 Arizona Administrative Code 8 Article 1 Food and Drink Rules as a result of the incorporating by reference the 2017 FDA Food Code as specified. Arizona Article 1, Sections 101 to 108 align to the FDA Food Code chapters 1 through 8 by the same name. Arizona Article 1, Section 111 to 117 align to the FDA Food Code Annexes 1 through 7 by the same name. On the left is the Arizona Food Rules. On the right is the FDA Food Code and chapters. This is where you can find the differences in both. These are the FDA Food Code major changes. Certified Food Protection Manager requirements 2-102.12 A and B. The person in charge shall be a certified food protection manager. This section does not apply to certain types of food establishments. Grace period until January 31st, 2022 to comply. ANSI approved providers are listed here. Temperature control 3-401.13, 3-501.14, and 3-501.16. Hot holding temperatures shall be 135 degrees Fahrenheit or above. This was previously 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Cooling time also reflects this change, meaning it should begin at 135 degrees or above, not 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Time and temperature control for safety foods, TCS. Replaces potentially hazardous foods, PHF. Time and temperature control for safety food means a food that requires time and temperature control for safety to limit pathogenic microorganisms growth or toxin formation. See full definition of TCS in the FDA Food Code. Priority, priority foundation, and core categories. The former use of critical or non-critical has been changed to be presented as being one of the three categories of importance to better identify risk-based controls within the code's provisions. 1. Priority, being most severe. 2. Priority foundation. And 3. Core, which is least severe. Number 1. Priority, most severe, contributes directly to the elimination, prevention, or reduction to an acceptable level. Hazards associated with foodborne illness or injury, and there is no other provision that more directly controls the hazard. Number 2. Priority foundation. Application supports, facilities, or enables priority items. Number 3. Core, the least severe, usually relates to general sanitation, operational controls, sanitation SOPs, facilities or structures, equipment design, or general maintenance, usually relates to general sanitation, operational controls, sanitation SOPs, facilities or structures, equipment design, or general maintenance. Note, a P or PF designation after a subparagraph indicates the provision within the section is a priority item or priority foundation item. Any unmarked provisions with a section are core items. Arizona Administrative Code 8, Article 1, Food and Drink. By definitions, in R9-8-101, in the Food Code Part 1 through 2, Section 1-201.10b, the Department. Number 1. Uses the word license in place of the word permit in FDA Food Code. Number 2. Uses the word license holder in place of the word permit holder in FDA Food Code. ADHS modified 8 FDA definitions and added 13 new definitions. Management and personnel. B. Section 2-201.12 B3 adds hepatitis A virus requirement specific in Arizona Administrative Code R9-6-343 B1 through 3. Section 2-201.13 C2 A deletes the food employee provides to the person in charge written medical documentation from a health practitioner that states the food employee is free from typhoid fever. That's a priority. And B adds typhoid fever requirements in AAC R9-6-388 A4 A and B. In Food Code Part 3-3, the Department. Number 1. In paragraph 3-301.11b, requires employees to use non-latex single-use gloves. 2. In paragraph 3-304.15e, requires latex gloves may not be used in direct contact with food. The department incorporates Food Code Chapter 4 in whole. Water, plumbing, and waste. In Food Code Part 5 through 1, the department in sections 5-101.13 requires bottled drinking water used or sold in a food establishment shall be obtained from an approved source in accordance with law. Physical facilities. This adds vending machine requirements. 1. A license holder for a vending machine to affix to a vending machine a permit sign that includes a unique identifier for the vending machine, and B, a telephone number for consumer to contact the license holder. Number 2, a license holder operating a water vending machine shall comply with Arizona Administrative Code R18-4-216 and other applicable laws. Poisons or toxic materials. The department incorporates Food Code Chapter 7 in whole. Compliance and enforcement. Extensive changes including Table 1.1, timeframes for application and license renewal. In Food Code Part 8-3, the department does not accept requirement in sections 8-303.30, denial of application for permit notice. C. In Food Code Part 8-3, Section 8-302.14, the department requires applicant for a food establishment applications include 1 through 4 CEUs. D. In Food Code Part 8-3, Section 8-303.20, the department requires a licensee for a food establishment license renewal include 1 through 3 CEUs. In addition to the Food Code Part 8-3, the department adds application and license renewal timeframe requirements 1 through 8 CEUs. In Food Code Part 8-4, the department 1. In Section 8-402.11 requires the regulatory authority to comply with ARS 41-1009 when performing inspections. 2. Does not accept requirements in Section 8-402.20, refusal notification of right to access, and final request for access. Section 8-402.30, refusal, reporting. C. Section 8-402.40, inspection order to gain access, and D. Section 8-403.10, documenting information and observation. 3. In Section 8-403.50, requires a regulatory authority treat the inspection report as a public document and shall make it available for disclosure to a person who requires it as provided in law. 4. In Section 8-404.12 requires a regulatory authority approve or deny resumption of operation within 5 days after receipt of license holder's request to resume operations. Mobile food units. New section, see rules. In addition to definitions in ARS 36-1761 and in this article adds 10 definitions specific to mobile food units. Adds 9 subsections for mobile food units covering licensing, operation, lettering, commissary agreements, classifications, etc. See rules for changes to Annex 1. Here's a list of where you can find the changes. Compliance and Enforcement Annex 1, References Annex 2, Public Health Reasons Administrative Guidelines Annex 3, Management of Food Safety Practices Annex 4, Conducting Risk-Based Inspections Annex 5, Food Processing Criteria Annex 6, Model Forms, Guides, and Other Aids in Annex 7. Exempt from requirements and inspections. Minor terminology changes adds a food demonstration or cooking class and specifics for cottage food. Food establishments shall have until January 31st, 2022 to comply with the Certified Food Protection Manager requirement specified in this article. Manufacturing foods. New section C rules. When Arizona creates the new state manufacturing food rules, this section will not be renewed. Adds 2 definitions specific to manufacturing food plants, consumer and food processing plants. In FDA Food Code paragraphs 3-203.11a and 3-203.12c changes wording pertaining to molluscs, shellfish, and shell shock. Food Establishment Inspection Report. On the left is the old one, on the right is the new one. Risk Factors Study Questionnaire. We'd like to request your participation in this initiative. This will ask questions regarding violations found during inspections to help us better understand the foodborne illnesses risk in our state. Only 1 response is needed from each county. We will be emailing to the EH managers and directors shortly. Here are some resources that you can use. Thank you, and have a great day.